Tell me about what it was like growing up Métis in your community, and where was your community?
It was Cairo, Manitoba. You guys probably heard of it. Well, I grew up there until I was 16, like I said. Then we moved. Well, we moved to Ste Rose for a couple of years, one time there, and then we went back home. It was tough growing up because Mom grew a big garden. We did a lot of hunting, killed deer in the fall, and Dad raised pigs, chickens. Always had something, but you had to haul your water from the lake. Then in the fall, you had to cut a bunch of ice and put it on a stand so you could have water. It wasn't easy. Then you had to haul wood. No hydro. I never seen hydro until I was 14 years old. Me and my sister were saying that. She said, remember when we were so excited when we seen a piece of bologna and Mom had brought from Metis Nation? 14 years old, it was first time. I thought it was the best thing ever. Yeah, things weren't easy, boy. You didn't just go to the store and buy what you want. There was no money. Living off the land.
Yeah.
Dad did some trapping. He might have had maybe 10 head of cattle, but you didn't kill that to eat. You had to sell that in the fall to stock up for the winter. They bought flour and bought sugar. The rest you picked wild berries and stuff. Strawberries, raspberries. Mom made all the jam. Ate lots of bannock.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff.
Oh, Jesus. Mom used to make the wagon wheels. Well, my sister makes them. That's my favorite kind of bannock.
Is the baked bannock?
The big wagon wheels. Mom used to make them big round ones.
Yeah.
That's my favorite ones.
Mm-hmm.
My wife was, she's a white lady, and she try it. But she said, that's good stuff. Well, of course it's good stuff. She said, Jesse, go to town on them things. Oh, Jesus, I can eat them too. At home, we never really run short nothing because we always hunted. I used to hunt partridges, rabbits. Always had some meat. And then, like I said, then chicken, and we milked cows, and we had our ship a can of cream here and there, and I forget what, $5 a can. I think that was big money. You survive, but you had to work to survive. Hey, geez, when we went to town to Ste Rose, we were small. It was just like releasing wild horses when you came to town. That was unreal in Ste Rose with everything they had. Some people had a car. My uncle used to live in Moordale, and he had a car, so people would hire him with a Model 8 to take them to town. There was no roads up to there.
So what were some of the things people did for work in Care when you were growing up?
You worked for they went to work for Icelanders there, and they were better off than the Métis. They hired people for haying and fishing in the winter time. And there was not too many people in Care that had nets to fish. They never had the money to buy them.
Mm-hmm.
But the Icelanders had, and they got hired through them. And haying, they went to work for haying in summertime. That's about it. You didn't make much money. And they went out in the fall to do, when they're cutting grain, the farmers are hiring, and they went from town to town. Mm-hmm. I was too young to see that. And it was quite expensive. It was $4 a pound. I think that was a lot of money in them days. It was hard to pick a pound. But in the spring, muskrat, people trapping, eat some good muskrats.
You still eat them?
I haven't done that in years. Well, the only one, my brother died. They used to call him the Rat Man in Ste Rose. He died last year, so now nobody's got. He was 88 years old. He's still trapping. People used to buy him from Dolphin here, guys. I'd come to the Bingo Friendship Center, and before all this shit happened, they come and ask me, "The Rat Man still trapping?" I said, "Yeah." Could you tell him I want this much muskrat? One time I brought one guy there, 16 muskrats.
Oh, really? Did you guys do a lot of fishing then too, as well as trapping?
Oh yeah, we used to go. Well, have a net to go set to eat.
Mm-hmm.
We'd set a net. We never fished with the rod because that was a waste. That wasn't for sport. That was to eat. Oh, and how many times I think of that all the time. I hook up the team horses on a wagon and hunt all night with the spotlight to get your deers for the fall. We had a caboose, fill that caboose right up. Then with the pork Dad had and the chicken. We usually start hunting again in August. It's a long time before you get a Ritchot.
Yeah. No.
Mom used to can meat and deer meat. And then with summertime pork and the salted pork. Oh, jeez, I used to hate that. But when I went to the city, I went to work. I was 16 years old. Went to work with a Midtown car wash in the city. It was on Donald Street. They just built a new car wash. My auntie used to live not too far, so she was keeping me there $15 a week. She was charging me more than home. But I was making $47 a week, $1 an hour. Yeah, it was something else. And my son worked in Saskatchewan, and my youngest son, he works on the ground putting up steel. He makes $1,000 a day.
Was there any other language other than English that was spoken in your home?
Well, my grandma used to talk Cree with my mom.
Michif,
yeah. The older people talked it. When they didn't want you to understand something, they... and then they laugh, and you don't know what the hell they're laughing at you or.
Yeah.
My older cousins, boy, they make me mad when they talk that. They don't know what they're saying about us.
Yeah.
My wife, she was from Nepal, my second wife, and the old man was Cree, my father-in-law. And his wife, well, she was Soto. And my father-in-law said, she talks bad Soto, that's swamp Soto she talks. Holy Jesus! I used to laugh, and they used to argue. When they had a few drinks Christmas, they'd go there and just laugh and laugh. And one time after Christmas dinner, they were having a few drinks, and they were always bickering at one another. Yeah. She says, Cyril, his name was Cyril, and her name was Victoria. Cyril, I got powers. If I wanted to, she says, I could make you crawl. He's looking at her and says, like Spider-Man? Oh, was she mad?
She didn't like that one?
Good times.
Yeah.
Mom used to make her cakes and stuff, pies, and everything was all homemade. And they would meat, like I said, Dad used to raise his pork. They usually fat. They'd keep the fat, kill deer meats, and then them little meat grinders, you put them on the table by hand. Mm-hmm. Then you mix that up to make your meat pie, you see. Because I remember on that used to be a hard job doing that, grinding meat. They had another thing, make hamburger out of suckers, eh?
Yeah.
They used to be good. You taste like bannock. My wife tries to make it at home, but it's not the same. I always say, well, it's pretty good, but not like my mom used to make.
Doesn't compare.
No.
What's the one thing you remember most from growing up in Cairn and being
the convent.
The convent?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
6 years of that. Yeah, they really treated us like in there, I'll tell you. Well, the priest, he was they had movies on Sundays, We had a projector every Sunday. So, well, we had to come back Sunday for the convent. We spend 5 days there, and then Mom and Dad pick us up again on Saturday or Friday. Then they'd let us go to the show. There was always a little part before the real show started. Me and my cousin, we were too young. We were 6, 7. We could go and watch that first part, like a cartoon or something. We had to pay the same as the other ones, 10 cents to get in. Then when the real show started, we had to go to bed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, we get 25 cents for the week. It was 10 cents to go to the show. And when you got to church, you had 5 cents to spend over there because you had to keep 10 cents for a sacrifice to give to the nuns. That's how it was.
Yeah.
You had 15 cents to pay for your show.
Yeah.
And a nickel bar, and they took 10 cents for sacrifice. And then you go to bed during the week, you'd have a catechism at 6, 7 o'clock you were in bed. And you couldn't get up to go to the washroom.
No.
You had to stay in bed. And we were all young. You can't go to the washroom finally, you wet your bed.
Yeah.
And then you got to stay like that all week till your parents come pick you up. But one time my cousin said, I'm going to the washroom. I'm not going to wait till I piss my bed there. Holy Jesus, the nun caught him. Pulled on his pajamas, put him on his stomach with that yardstick roller, 1 inch wide.
Yeah.
Just beat him. Oh, they were bad. If that was enough, they didn't think they hurt you enough, then they go get the priest to whip you up.
Yeah, they'd wake him up.
Wake him up.
Yeah.
Well, there was a priest, and he had brothers that probably was his fag partner with him. Mm-hmm. Then you had the nuns. Man, I remember what they were like, boy.
Yeah. How old were you?
I did 6 years in that. I was there from they opened in 47 until 59, and I had 6 years on that. Then I got polio when I was there. We used to be in a chapel, 7 o'clock. Me and my sister, you had to go there regardless. And I passed out. Well, they figure out, just faking it. And then they woke me up, they moved water back on your knees. All week I stayed had the convent sick. Then when I got home, Mom said, we got to take him to the doctor. Took me to the doctor, I had polio. The nuns I didn't get. Another friend of mine, for supper one night, we're all sitting there at long tables. And everybody brought their food, all the families. And then the nuns would pick all the best. Well, everybody was poor. Not that it was good food, but some food maybe was a bit better than the rest. You had deer meat, you had bear meat, or whatever. Eh? But they pick all the best. And Buddy Man wasn't feeling good that. He said, I can't eat it. No, I'm not feeling good, you're going to eat. She said, you're going to be crying. He never ate that. He had to eat. So he got sick, puked in his plate. Well, she made him eat that. He stood right there and had to eat it. And he knew he had to. So they hit him. The priest in St. Rose one time, my daughter-in-law, she got her kids baptized. So I went there, staring in the cold. And the priest was just standing outside there, shaking hands. Everybody comes up to me. You going to shake hands? I said, I don't want to shake hands with you. He said, we don't see you in church very often. He says, because I don't come to church very often. I says, and you don't want to get in this subject with me. Okay, so left.
Yeah.
Oh, they make my man just thinking about this stuff. They should have been in jail. Stuff like that. That was abuse. We never got sexually abused, but mentally and beaten. If we would have stayed there all the time like the rest, we would have had the same treatment as them.
Yeah.
They couldn't get away with it, but they beat us. Well, it's a different world, eh? Like on Facebook it was saying, your parents raised you for the world that was then. Now your kids, you got to raise them for a different world, and that's true, eh? One guy was telling me and my buddy, we were talking, he said, would you like to be young again? I said, no. I said, once around this big donut, it's can't stop, I'm ready to get off any day. He says, me too, the world is crazy. It's unreal. The stuff that's happening and crazy. It's crazy and scary. Like you said, you went to that hotel in Brooklyn there, and it used to be fun that bar. I remember that. You go and have fun, dance, and do everything. And you went there, you got scared. I don't blame you. I know what it's like. There's another one too that used to be fun on Logan, Teddy Bob, as you call it. That used to be a fun hotel, not no more. And there's nothing safe in Winnipeg. It's not only that area, all over.
So how do you say times have changed in general? We kind of touched on that one, but in specific for Métis people.
Well, things are getting not pretty good now for the Métis. We're getting to be more and more recognized. Like, I know some of on my website, she's got kids that her sons married Métis ladies, and the kids are Métis, and they bought houses, and the Métis made the down payment and paid for the schooling, and they've got pretty good. It's changed compared to what it used to be. Oh yeah, we said we were Métis.
Yeah.
We go to Winnipeg, and they call it the Michif from Caillie.
Okay, yeah.
Always been the Michifs.
Yeah.
And you should be proud of who you are.
So what do you see as some challenges today that we still face as Métis people?
It could get better, I guess.
Yeah.
Like we should get free medicine and glasses and dental. That would be a big plus. Eh? You're on old age pension. Money is not as easy to come back and buy as when you were young. Especially nowadays, it costs money. Like the Métis pay for someone, but if you make more than the 25,000, I think it is, then they don't pay for you. But it should be for everybody. Well, there's more money around now than there was in the old days. Eh?
Yeah.
The old days, people were just poor. You had to do with what you had. I know some families back home, their kids, they had kids, and they had a bunch of kids. And them kids go from door to door, go and get a night's sleep there, a meal. Everybody helped out. Eh? Jeez, it was tough. Great nowadays, Jesus. Person is having too much trouble, and all you got to do is go see welfare and you get help. There was no such thing as welfare in them days. You're on your own, you fend for yourself.
Do you think people were happier then?
Oh yeah, a lot happier. It didn't take much to make you happy in them days. Mom would buy us each a little gift. Oh, so me and my sister were saying that there was 4 of us in our family. We were so happy with them little things. Mm-hmm. Now you buy your kids all kinds of stuff. It's Christmas every day. People that I don't know, there's too much out there. They don't seem happy like we used to be when we were young, or maybe just me, I don't know. Like I said, when we seen that baloney with my sister at 14, was that ever good?
Mm-hmm.
Life-changing.
Yeah. Life change was right.
Yeah. So do you have any words of wisdom for our Métis youth, Phil?
Well, I would say get a good education, stuff like that. Try and better yourself. Then you can set yourself up for a good job. My granddaughter, she didn't want to listen to me when I heard, I wanted to school. Now she finally, after she started going back to school, now she's 30, she finally got all her degrees. Boy, Grandpa, I should have listened to you. Well, I tried to tell you when you're living here. I said, but you don't want to listen. And he said, you were right. She said, Jesse even too quit school at 11. I said, you're going to be at 11, grade 11. You're going to be sorry for that. Mm-hmm. You'll need grade 12. Terrence, same thing. Coley went to school and he went couple of years university, and he's got a job with Hydro. He's got a good job now, but you need the schooling. Hopefully it's not too late. Have respect for your elders.
Yeah.
Have respect for your elders, that's for sure. Because, well, like I said, now the world has changed so much. It's not only the Métis kids, it's everybody got no respect for nobody. When I see it at the store, and when they come, they're horrible. And some of them are young, they're just miserable.
Yeah.
And that's not only Métis, it's everybody, every generation. Well, like I said, no discipline. You can't discipline your kid now. The government after that, well, complaining the kids are bad. Well, you didn't want them, parents to discipline them at home. When your dad told you something at home, you listened. He didn't tell you twice. And that was okay. There was nothing wrong. And Dad wasn't mean to us, but when he talked, we knew. In the old days, your man and mom told you something, you better listen.
Yeah.
The times have changed. Boy.